Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com this morning from Estes Park. It's a Patriot League clash as the visiting Brush Bead Diggers face the Estes Park Bobcats. I'm John Beltran on a gorgeous, about a 55 to 60 degree morning here in Estes Park, as this is the second and final meeting of the season between the teams. They played 11 days ago in Brush. The Bead Diggers generated just 2 hits but won the game 9-5. Brush is 2-1 in the Patriot League, 3-1 overall, coming off a 22-10 victory against Valley. And that came on Thursday at Bigfoot Turf Farms. And as for Estes Park, they're 0-3 in league play, 1-4 on the season. And they're going to have their work cut out for them against this Bead Digger team that has really dominated those meetings here in Estes. The games in Brush have been tighter. But in Estes, the Bead Diggers a year ago won 21-7. Then prior to that in 2012, 13-3. Prior to that, 27-6. The only type matchup in the last several years was in 2008. The Bead Diggers went to the state tournament that year, finished in the semifinals, and they played a few weeks earlier against Estes Park and lost that game here 12-9. And we know this is a hitter's park. The ball moves through extremely fast to the infield because it's an all-clay infield. And the outfield with that grass very thinly cut, and obviously it doesn't grow as well here in the mountains as it does on the plains, and certainly not as early in the season. And they're playing in March, and normally they don't play until mid to late April. So I expect at least a combined 20 runs to be scored in this particular game from Estes Park. 341 down the left field line, 342 down the right field line, 361 in the left center field gap, 357 in the right center field gap. So it's a big park, but it has to be. Yeah, if this had those pitcher or those hitter-friendly dimensions, then you'd see a lot more home runs. But it's not easy to hit one out. It is easy to get the ball through the infield and pick up base hits. Keep in mind, you can follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports for scoring updates. Our Facebook page is 1010 KSIR Sports, or you can go to KSIRsports.com. You can click on either the faster or slower connections. Faster is recommended, obviously, and click on today's game. You'll get a pitch-by-pitch account, even if you're not listening, and you are right now, and we'll be listening later, a pitch-by-pitch account of this particular game. As this is the final game the Bead Diggers will play until the 31st of March. It'll be spring break, and then they'll be back in action at home against Strasburg on March 31st. So very much like the Fort Morgan Mustangs we cover on B106 and B106.com, they've got the extensive break, as will the Brush Bead Diggers. The Bead Diggers on Tuesday erupted, or checked that on Thursday, for 12 runs in the second inning, turned a 5-1 deficit into a 22-10 victory. And one thing the Bead Diggers are trying to concentrate on this game is to play defense. Their defense has been below average, really, the last 3 games. Flawless against Woodland Park. The only Saturday game they played was against Woodland Park. That was the first game of the year before they had a full roster. That was a 14-0 victory, and Brush did not commit an error. But since then, they've been a little bit sloppy in the field. They're looking to turn that around here and get that going because, you can score 20-some-odd runs, but if you want to go deep into the postseason, the pitching and defense is going to have to take over for the Bead Diggers, which are dressed, by the way, in their maroon uniforms with the gray pants in Estes Park and their purple jerseys and the white pants. So that's what we got going on here between the Bead Diggers and Estes Park Bobcats. Well, just a fabulous Saturday morning. Never know here. Done some games that the weather's been a little bit iffy, but that's baseball in Estes Park. And it's also an opportunity for the people who come out to the game. They can make a day of it here. Whether it's shopping or sightseeing, it's always a wonderful scene here in Estes Park. The longest road trip of the year, but it's certainly worth it if the Bead Diggers can pick up their 4th victory of the season and go into the final day of March with an .800 winning percentage. Bee Diggers are still taking infield, by the way, so this game slated to start at 11 will be going probably at about 11:10. I'm guessing in the next 5 minutes. Rush will be done here with the infield outfield drills. Keep in mind we always archive these games as well. You go to our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube, archiving the audio, or on Twitter at KSIR Sports, or the same thing, or 1010 KSIR Sports, or even our B106 Facebook pages. So the Bee Diggers, we've had a banner year sports-wise, a state championship in football. Of course, in basketball, got to the state quarterfinals, now looking to do something similar to what they did in football here in baseball, but this Patriot League is loaded. You've got 5 teams in the top 10. Eaton number 1. You got University and Sterling at 4 and 5, and then the latest poll had Brush at number 7, Valley at number 8. And even the ones that are not in the top 10 will battle, like in Estes Park and like a Strasburg. In fact, Strasburg and Sterling played yesterday in Strasburg, a very odd game. First of all, we've seen the highest scoring games maybe ever in this Patriot League. We've already referenced the 2 Bee Digger games against Valley, 21-10 loss and a 22-10 victory. Yesterday against Strasburg, Sterling had a 19-0 lead after 3, and they won in 5 innings, 26-15. Now we're looking at we're looking at like second-grade basketball scores instead of true baseball scores, and we might have one here today because the average number of runs in the last 3 meetings between Brush and Sterling has been Brush and Estes Park, 27 runs. As I referenced earlier, you had the 21-7 Brush victory last year, 13-3 3 years ago, and then prior to that, 27-6 Bee Diggers. So they have feasted certainly on Estes Park pitching. Caleb Hightower, the head coach for the Bobcats, and Kevin Fergus for the Bee Diggers. Bee Diggers starting lineup brought to you by Cargill Beef, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. Arnoldo Matos Garcia, the second baseman, hits first. Pitcher Zane Fowl bats second. Alec Peterson, the catcher, hits third. The cleanup hitters, the shortstop Kyle Rosenbrock. Mikey Gutierrez, the third baseman, hits fifth. Nico Guzman in center hits sixth. The right fielder Brandon Walter bats seventh. B.J. Hirschfeld, the first baseman, hits eighth. And Grayson Simmons, the left fielder, will be batting ninth. Once Estes Park takes the field, Marshall Dean will be at first. Alec Perney at second. The third baseman is Caleb Carnell. At short is Adam Tully, who was the starting pitcher and the losing pitcher in that 9-5 Brush victory on March the 10th. The left fielder is Adam Goodman. In center is Zach Lauk. Hunter Tasker in right. Isaac Calden behind the plate. And Ben Burke will be on the hill. Again, these are huge dimensions in Estes. If you hit a home run here, you've not been cheated. You've gotten every single part of the baseball. And even though it's an all-clay infield, it looks a little bit thick. Normally it moves by quickly, the ball does. But there appears, from my vantage point, to be a little bit more moisture. We'll see when the ball's actually hit on the ground. That's when you'll be able to tell how quickly the ball moves. It's going to move very quickly through the outfield regardless. But the infield can be a little bit of a hit-and-miss situation, as both teams are still in their respective dugouts with the coaches and the umpires running through the ground rules. The Bobcats at 1-4 and the Bee Diggers at 3-1. And momentarily we'll have the introduction of the starting lineups, which I just gave you, and we'll be able to get this game underway from Estes. Now the estimated start time is about 11, close to 11:15. Because I think we will have starting lineups and then perhaps the national anthem as well. And now the lineups to be introduced on both sides. Keep in mind that you can tune into 1010 Preps and More weekdays from 1 to 2 with yours truly at the latest in high school sports. And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we speak with our Major League Baseball analyst, Ralph Woodlick, reporting from spring training in Arizona. And, of course, then we'll have him based in Denver from April all the way through the Major League Baseball playoffs. We speak with Ralph once again 3 days a week, and our NHL analyst Heath Kuntz, who we'll talk to once a week, and plenty of basketball still to cover with the NCAA tournament ongoing and the NBA regular season going down the stretch and then into the playoffs, which starts, I believe, in 4 weeks. And let's see, the Bobcats, yeah, they're just going to take the field. Bobcats will be taking the field. So actually this game will start a little bit earlier than that, 11:15. Scheduled or non-scheduled time, that adjusted time. As Ben Burke, the right-hander, will be delivering for Estes Park. The Beat Diggers in the last couple of meetings fell behind Estes Park. Last year they were down 6-3 before scoring 24 of the game's last 25 runs. Well, check that. That would be 18 of the game's last 19 runs and a 21-7 victory. If the Bobcats are to stay in this game, they've just got to play defense. That's been a huge problem. Having said that, the Brush offense, when you look at the number of runs they've scored, 14 against Woodland Park, 9 against Estes Park, 10 against Valley, and 22 against Valley, has obviously been pretty lethal, averaging nearly 14 runs a game going into this one. And Brush's leadoff hitter, Baby Maltos Garcia, has got the lowest batting average on the team, but his on-base certainly gone up. He drew a few walks last game, and that's the key. Even if you're not hitting the ball extremely well, just get on base, and that's what Maltos Garcia can do at the top of the lineup for Brush, hitting just 200. And that average liable to go up if he has the type of game he's capable of today here in Estes. And after today, the Beat Diggers will have 13 regular season games remaining. This will close out the season series against Estes. But you still got a doubleheader coming up. 2 games in 3 days against University, against Sterling, Strasburg, Eaton, Platte Valley, all those teams in the Patriot League. The only non-league games remaining for Brush are in May against Faith Christian and Liberty Common. Well, there's also Resurrection Christian. And I believe all those games are at home. So a nice home schedule for Brush. The opening pitch is brought to you by Buildings by Design. The experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building. By starting your build project right, start with Buildings by Design. Here's Arnoldo Maltos Garcia, the Beat Diggers' second baseman. And Ben Burke, the right-hander, winds and delivers. And the fastball's on the inside corner for a strike at the knees. Maltos Garcia, Fow, and Peterson. Again, you can follow this pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. Get an account of what happens throughout this entire game, whether you're listening in or not. And the 0-1. And the breaking ball is outside. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So official start time was 11:12 to this game. Called in setting up on the inside corner. The pitch. Swag! And a miss at a fastball tailing in. And Baby Maltos Garcia down in the count at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind and pitch. And he bounced it in there to the screen. And that levels the count at 2-2. One thing the Beat Diggers have done a good job of is working opposing pitchers. They're aggressive at the plate, but also have run into some pretty deep counts. And the 2-2 offering, that ball's inside, underneath the knees. It's 3-2. And again, this is a perfect example right here with Maltos Garcia working the count against the right-hander Ben Burke, setting up on the left side of the rubber. And the offering, fastball is upstairs, and Maltos Garcia draws a walk. That'll bring up Zane Fow, hitting .562, and he's driven an 8, third on the team in RBIs. And Maltos Garcia with lots of speed out there as well. But a 1-step lead over there as Burke steps off. And today's one of those days that you can use up your pitching staff since your next game is not for 10 days. Two-step lead. The pitch. And that went to the screen behind, foul. And on the wild pitch, Matos Garcia to second. And after a very impressive opening pitch thrown by Burke, he's only thrown one strike in the last 6 pitches. So 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers with a runner in scoring position. Here just underway from Estes Park. The stretch, Calden lays down the sign. Looking back. And the 1-0. And a check swing, but he went. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Would have been ball 2, and normally in situations like that, when a pitcher's struggling, you, even if it's early in the count, sometimes you just automatically take. But Fowl was thinking that he was going to swing at that one. Now the count is even. And the offering. And that's upstairs with a fastball. Count moves to 2-1. Burke ready, trying to establish his control here in the top of the first inning. Long pause, the pitch, and that is upstairs, just a little bit high with those fastballs. Ball 3, strike 1. And the Beaters are 1 pitch away here from having their first 2 on base. The stretch. And the offering. And that's down and away. And the ball's off the glove of the catcher, Calden, to third. It's going to be Matos Garcia. So now runners at the corners. And that'll send up the number 3 hitter, Alec Peterson. Peterson hitting .400 with a home run on the season. And Petey with 1 swing can give the Bee Diggers the early lead. Burke with runners at first and third. Will stretch. Fowl's got lots of speed. He might be taking off anytime soon. And the pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. And for Burke, he's thrown 12 pitches, only 3 strikes. And the Bee Diggers are just waiting on the pitch they want. Off of third is Matos Garcia. Foul at first. About a 2.5-step lead for Fowl. 1-0. That's on the outside corner at the knees with a fastball that levels the count at 1-1. And that's the consistent. That's what Burke wants to establish. 1 ball, 1 strike. With nobody out in the top of the first and runners at the corners for Brush. And Petey awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on line for a base hit inside the left field line. Matos Garcia will score. To second is Foul. It's an RBI single for Alec Peterson. And the Bee Diggers in the top of the first inning have grabbed a 1-0 lead. And here's Kyle Rosenbrock, who's hitting .333 on the young season. And Rosenbrock's had some really good games here in Estes. The stretch. Burke looks in. And the pitch. Down and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. To Kyle Rosenbrock. Burke looking back at the trail runner. Not taking anything for granted as well. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat on the ground on the right side. Perney charges, drops the ball, and there's no play. And that's what we talked about at the beginning, that if Estes Park cannot play the defense, and Perney missed that one there, that it's going to hurt them. Errors have plagued them in the past. And a nice changeup there thrown by Ben Burke, but now the bases are loaded. Gutierrez and 10 RBIs, exactly who the Bee Diggers want up there in this situation. The pitch, and that is a strike at the knees. On the outer half, it's 0-1. So Gutierrez, who is tied for the team lead in ribbies, along with Grayson Simmons, to add to 0-1. That is over for a strike. Looked like a changeup there. It's 0-2. Still nobody out here in the top of the first inning, but Burke's starting to find the strike zone for Estes. Runners take their leads with the bases loaded. Yeah, Rose. And we're back as Gutierrez just struck out. Lost you there for a second outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The bases loaded. Alec Peterson with an RBI single. He's given the Beat Diggers a 1-0 lead. Gutierrez just struck out. Here's the stretch. And the offering. And that tails in. 2-0 to Nico Guzman. Guzman awaiting. The stretch with the bases loaded. And the offering way outside. And it's 3-0. With Fowl at third, Peterson at second, Rosenbrock at first. The Beat Diggers already leading 1-0. Burke out of the stretch. 3-0. And the ball is off the glove. It's a walk anyway. And Fowl is racing home. It doesn't matter. It's a 4-pitch walk. With the ball going to the screen, didn't matter. The runners advance, and the Beat Diggers now lead by a score of 2-0 as Guzman picks up the RBI. And here comes Brandon Walter, 300 hitter for the Beat Diggers. He was very good on Thursday against Valley, reaching base 4 times. So now at third is Peterson, Rosenbrock at second, Guzman at first. Roddy against lefty. The pitch. And the fastball tails away. Took something off with that. 1 ball, no strikes. To Brandon Walter. And trying to mix speeds here is Ben Burke. And the offering. That's right there for a strike. Little cutter on that when the count is level. Had 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson with an RBI single. Guzman with an RBI walk. Beat Diggers holding this 2-0 lead with 1 down in the first inning. And the right-hander comes home. Fastball is upstairs, and that moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Pete's Farmers Cooperative have been in business since 1915. They're still a small-town company that cares about their individual customers. Pete's Farmers Cooperative. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. That's right there. A little change-up. Count moves to 2-2. Thing with Burke, he's got lots of movement on his pitches. He's got to find the strike zone more consistently. 27 pitches so far, only 11 strikes. Out of the stretch. And the 2-2. Swung on and driven to right field. That's a base hit. Tasker gets to the baseball, but Peterson will score. Rosenbrock around third. He steps on home plate. Guzman to third. It's a 2-run single for Brandon Walter. And the Beat Diggers have doubled the lead. It's 4-0 in the top of the first inning. That'll bring up B.J. Hirschfeld. Hirschfeld is the 8th hitter of the inning. Stretched by Burke. And the offering. Right there. Outside corner with a fastball for a strike. There's 1. No balls and 1 strike, that is, on B.J. Hirschfeld. Looking back is Burke. At the belt, the pitch. Swung on and popped up into center. Should be a routine play. Coming in is Lauk. He makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Guzman. The throw to the plate will be cut off. A sac fly by B.J. Hirschfeld has extended the lead for Brush. It is now 5-0. And staying put at first was Brandon Walter. There's Grayson Simmons. He's torched the ball. 7.14 average so far with 10 RBIs out of the 9 hole. And the pitch. Fastball tails away. 1 ball and no strikes. The G-man back in. The stretch by Burke. 1-0 pitch. Tails away, 2-0. And lots of movement on that cut fastball and even the changeup. That was pitch number 32 of the opening frame here for Burke. Looks back at the runner at first in Brandon Walter. And that pitch is over but low. 3-0. On deck is Arnoldo Matos Garcia. He began the inning with a walk. I'd assume Simmons is taking no throw. Step off there by Ben Burke. So 3 balls and no strikes. 5-0 Brush, top of the first inning. And Calden lays down the sign. And the offering is right there, but a little bit low. Boy, barely missed. Looked like it was at the knees. And it's a 4-pitch walk. 3rd walk issued in the inning. Check it, the 4th by Ben Burke. One of those was a bases-loaded walk. And here's Arnoldo Matos Garcia, the 10th hitter of the inning for the Bee Diggers.
Come on, Ben.
And he walked earlier in this frame, as I mentioned, and did score. The stretch and the offering. Swung on grounded foul up the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. At second is Walter. Simmons at first. Conservative lead for Walter at second. 0-1 pitch. And the breaking ball is down and away. Levels the count at 1-1. CHS Grainland, farmer owned with global connections. Find them online at grainland.coop. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 out, 5 in. The pitch all the way to the screen. On the wild pitch, the runners advance. Walter to third. And the second is Simmons.
Ben, relax.
And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Come on, buddy, relax.
The Bee Diggers will have Zane Fow on the hill. He'll be out there with at least a 5-run lead. Matos Garcia waits the pitch. And here it is. Swag! And a miss through the fastball right by him in the outside corner. It's 2-2. Bee Diggers haven't had to do much offensively. They've got a couple of hits. That's about it. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Matos Garcia strikes out. And that does it in the top of the first. Bee Diggers with 5 runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Brush 5. Estes Park is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bee Diggers scored 5 runs in the top of the first inning. Here's the Estes Park lineup. Caleb Carnell, the third baseman, hits first. The center fielder, Zach Lauk, hits second. Shortstop, Adam Tully, bats third. The pitcher, Ben Burke, is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is the left fielder, Adam Goodman. Hunter Tasker, the right fielder, hits sixth. Second baseman, Alec Perney, hits seventh. The first baseman, Marshall Dean, hits eighth. And Isaac Calden, the catcher, bats ninth. The Bee Diggers defensively have B.J. Hirschfeld at first. Arnoldo Matos Garcia at second. Mikey Gutierrez is the third baseman. The shortstop is Kyle Rosenbrock. Around the outfield, Grayson Simmons in left. Nico Guzman in center. Brandon Walters in right. Behind the plate is Zane Fow and Alec Peter. Check that. Behind the plate is Alec Peterson, and Zane Fow is on the mound with a 3.82 ERA. Second lowest on the team after Ryan Fergus. The Bee Diggers obviously have struggled with their pitching based on the scores so far. It'll be Caleb Carnell here for Estes Park. As we begin the bottom of the first inning. Hitting from the right side. And hopefully the Bee Diggers can establish control early and not struggle through the pitching issues they've had so far this season. Foul, the right-hander, delivers. Fastball tails inside. It's 1-0. Foul ready. The wind and the 1-0 pitch. That is on the outer edge for a strike with a heater. Thigh high. The count is leveled at 1-1. To the Estes Park third baseman. Wind and offering. Changeup is down and in. Moves the count to 2-1. We've seen so many games this season. Even though the season is young, where walks have come in big numbers, and this could be another one. In the dirt, 3-1. Already 4 walks by Ben Burke in the top of the first, and fouls fallen behind Caleb Carnell in the bottom half. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Inside, he walked him. Jesus. All right, that'll bring up Zach Lauk. The last 2 games the Bee Diggers have played have gone 2 hours and 27 minutes and 2 hours and 45 minutes because pitchers on both sides have been very shaky, and that's putting it kindly, the pitch. There's a fastball for a strike on the outer edge. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Let's just repeat that. And the Bee Diggers can get what they want defensively, and that's outs. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch by foul. Throw back to first, back in diving is Carnell. Bee Diggers at double play depth, leading 5-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Brandon Walter had the big hit with a 2-run single. And the offering. Swung on and grounded left side. Rosenbrock to shortstop. Sunday hop to second for 1. Matos Garcia to first. That's going to be late. But they get the lead man. And there's 1 down for Adam Tully. This guy was their most dangerous hitter. In brush. He accounted for many of those 5 runs that Estes Park scored. Be a tough customer to pitch to. The stretch by foul and the offering. Swung on and drilled foul up the left field side. Got in on him. With Adam Tully, you've got to find a good 2-strike pitch and out pitch. That was a great swing there, but because that ball was tailing in on Tully, he pulled it foul. No balls, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 down. Foul stretches, 3-step lead for Carnell. Throw back to first, back in diving. Again, the Bee Diggers at double play depth. Owen stands for the right-handed hitter. And the pitch, very high and inside. Levels the count at 1-1. Yeah, you get something up in the zone to Tully, he's going to send it the other way, big time. Stretch by foul. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded into left field for a base hit. Simmons got to race over there to cut that ball off. It's off his glove, and Carnell headed to third, the throw, and he's going to be in there. And into second is going to be Tully. We'll give him a straight-up double. That ball's hit very hard out there, and keep in mind that the grass is so thin, the ball just rolls continuously. And now the pitcher, Ben Burr, trying to help his own cause and get Estes Park back into the game. The stretch by foul and the pitch. That's a strike on the outer edge with a heater. It's 0-1.
It's outside, Ben.
No balls and 1 strike. Off of third is Carl. Tully at second. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up in the infield. Should be a play for the pitcher. Foul to the left of the mound. Makes the catch, and there's 2 down. On a ball tailing away for the right-handed hitter. That's a big out recorded by foul. And now 2 down for Adam Goodman. Goodman with 2 runners in scoring position. can put Estes Park on the board. Stretch and pitch. Swing and a miss, and a ball tailing into the right-handed hitter. No balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers with a 5-0 lead. Stretch and offering. Breaking ball is up and in. That's Zach Lauk, actually, at third, not Carnell. He was eliminated as part of that force on the ball hit by Lauk. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 on. Peterson lays down the sign. Long pause, the pitch. In the dirt, it's off of Peterson's glove, but no advance. Able to chase it down to his right. 2 balls, 1 strike. And a big pitch coming up for foul. Goodman in a hitter's count. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Game started about 12 minutes late. That's why we're still in the bottom of the first, besides the 5 runs Brush scored in the top half of the frame. And the 2-1 swung on and lifted foul off to the right. That's out of play down the right field side. Giving chase was Walter, but no shot there. Count moves to 2-2. When shopping for new appliances, shop the best appliance store in Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance, with a full and complete line of Whirlpool appliances. They'll help you find your perfect fit. B&B Appliance in downtown Fort Morgan. 2-2 to Goodman. Foul stretches. And the offering in low. Headed for the dirt, but Peterson didn't allow that to happen. It's 3-2. On deck is Hunter Tasker. Bee Diggers 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. Estes Park is 1 pitch away from loading the bases, perhaps. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Goodman strikes out, and that ends the inning. No runs for Estes Park on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. 1 complete. It's Brush 5, Estes Park nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush 5, Estes Park nothing in Estes Park as we head to the second inning. 2, 3, and 4 for the Bee Diggers, the heart of the order, with Zane Fow, Alec Peterson, and Kyle Rosenbrock against right-hander Ben Burke. Burke generated a couple of strikeouts in the opening frame, but also walked 4, contributing to Brush's cause. So looking to reestablish some control here in the second. Fow did walk and later scored. And the pitch. Swung on and lined into left center field for the base hit by beyond the lunging Tully. And for the Bee Diggers, they pick up their 3rd hit as Fow sends the first one right up the middle. And that'll bring up Alec Peterson. Peterson with an RBI single in his first at bat. Peterson's got a home run on the year as well. Burke looks back, 2-step lead at first for Fow. And the offering swung on and popped up, and that one is out of play behind the screen. No balls and 1 strike to Petey. Estes Park did get a base hit in the opening frame. A double by Tully. Again, a conservative lead at first for Fow. And the 0-1. And that pitch tails in. 1 ball, 1 strike on the off-speed. That Peterson RBI single brought to you by MMI International. When buying a mixer or feeder truck, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They outperform their competitors hands down. They're not afraid to stand behind their product. 842-5161. Runner going. Pitch is outside, and the throw is back to the pitcher. Stolen base standing for Zane Fow. 2 balls and 1 strike. Peterson digs in. Peterson's been hit by 2 pitches this year. He gets close to that plate with a back foot. And the offering. And that ball nearly hit him, went behind him. I don't know how it missed him. 3-1.
Come on, Ben. Relax, dude.
3 balls and 1 strike with Kyle Rosenbrock waiting to hit next. The stretch. Peterson awaits the pitch. And he takes it for a strike on the outside corner, thigh high. Took something off it. It's 3-2. Off of second is foul. Led off the inning with a base hit. With the Bee Diggers up by 5. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded inside the third baseline into left field. Goodman gets to it. Now it gets by him. And rounding third and scoring is going to be foul. And Alec Peterson into second. No RBI there because foul actually held up. That's the second error committed by Estes Park. Peterson now at 2 for 2. As Goodman with a miscue. And it's now 6-0. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock. The pitch. Swing and foul tipped into the glove. No balls and 1 strike. Rosenbrock reached on an error by the second baseman Perney in the opening frame. Looking back, long pause in the offering. Tapped foul right behind the plate. Count is at 0-2. And there's no doubt that Burke is feeling more comfortable in this inning. His strike-to-ball ratio is much more favorable. And the 0-2 pitch. The breaking ball's in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Calden. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Come on, Ben, don't lose them.
And the Bee Diggers with a 6-0 lead, looking for more with their cleanup hitter at the dish. Rosenbrock awaits. And the pitch swung on and popped up extremely high to the second baseman, Perney, to his left, and he dropped the ball. I don't know if he lost that ball in the sun. Holding up at second, was Peterson. So reaching on the air, is Rosenbrock for the second time in the game. And now it's first and second. There's Mikey Gutierrez, who struck out. Gutierrez ready, the stretch and the offering. And that is inside, a little bit high. Took something off it. 1 ball and no strikes. And again, we mentioned this at the top of the broadcast that Estes Park has killed themselves in recent years with errors. It's happening again today. Swung on, line into left center field. That's a base hit. Alec Peterson will round third. He is going to score. Rosenbrock to second. A run-scoring single for Mikey Gutierrez. And Brush in the second inning leads Estes Park 7-0. And that's RBI number 11 for Gutierrez. That'll send up Nico Guzman. Guzman drew a walk, plating a run in the first inning. Burke with a stretch. And the offering. That's a strike on the outside corner. Excellent location by the right-hander. It's no balls and 1 strike. Ahead in the count, but looking to put the hitter away. The stretch and offering. Outside. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon Walter drove in a run in the first inning. He's on deck. Bee Diggers have 2 across in the frame. You need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them at Central Auto Parts. The pitch in the dirt. Nice block there by Calden. Count moves to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Nico Guzman. Rosenbrock off of second. Mikey G at first. Long pause. And the pitch. Runners going. The ball's in the dirt. The throw to third is right there. The tag. And out is Rosenbrock as the tag was applied by Carnell. And there's 1 down. So now Gutierrez at second with 1 out after Rosenbrock was eliminated on the caught stealing. The 3-1 pitch is low, and that's the fifth walk issued by Ben Burke, and the second to Guzman. Oh, that's why you take a risk sending the runner, because the bases would be loaded now with nobody out. Instead, first and second with one out, but Brush comfortably ahead 7-0. And here's one of two left-handed hitters in the lineup for the Bee Diggers. Burke stretches the pitch. Swung on and driven towards left field. That's going to drop in front of Goodman for a base hit. And advancing to third as Gutierrez cannot race for home. And Walters now 2 for 2 as he goes the other way. And the bases are loaded for B.J. Hirschfeld, who had a sacrifice fly in the opening frame. Out of the stretch with the bases loaded is Burke. And the pitch on the outside corner. He painted that beautifully. It's 0-1. Mikey G at third. Nico G at second. Brandon Walter at first. And the 0-1. That tails inside. The count is level at 1-1 strike. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Equitable savings and loan with financial solutions for you. The pitch, low, in fact in the dirt, blocked beautifully by Calden. Ball 2, strike 1. 5 runs in the first for the Bee Diggers, 2 runs in the second. Brush has 6 hits in the game. And they've got a 7-0 lead. The pitch, upstairs. 3-1. And now this Hirschfeld's got to look for a beach ball down the middle because Burke has got to throw a strike. And he does not. That's outside with a fastball. And that'll play to run as Gutierrez scores. And the Bee Diggers now lead 8-0. And here is Grayson Simmons. Again with the bases loaded. And 1 out. Simmons in his first plate appearance did walk. Second on the team with 10 RBIs. The pitch. And he takes a cutter for a strike. Nice off-speed pitch. It's 0-1. And Burke is just looking to try to string those together. That's been the obstacle. And the offering. Swung on and grounded sharply into right field beyond the lungy Perney for a base hit. Then the ball skips towards the fence. 1 run is in. Scoring is Walter. Around third is Hirschfeld. And to third is Grayson Simmons. We'll call it a 2-run single and an error. And the Bee Diggers now lead 11-0 here in the second inning. Here's Arnoldo Matos Garcia. And out of the windup is Ben Burke. Matos Garcia has walked and struck out, and that ball tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So Simmons now with 12 RBIs in only 3 games. He had 7 in that game against Valley on Thursday. Pitch is swung on, driven deep to right field, but that it's going to drop right in front. The right fielder Tasker thought he had a play on the ball. Simmons will score. RBI for Matos Garcia. And Brush now leads 12-0. He let that ball drop in front of him, but I thought there was a play out there. And that'll bring up Zane Fowl. Will have a visit to the hill. Fowl is 1 for 1. Fowl is the 10th hitter of the inning. Let's see if Ben Burke remains on the hill. Unfortunately for him, he's got very, very little, if any, defensive support. And when you're struggling to throw strikes like he did in the first inning, they got to pick it up defensively. And looks like Burke will stay in. So Burke will stay in the game for the Bee Diggers, for the Bobcats against the Bee Diggers here. With Brush up 12-0 only in the second inning. Little shout out to my buddy Brad Shelton. Big Bee Digger fan. They call him the Bus. Bradley Ulysses Shelton. Off of first. The pitch. Swung on and grounded down the third base side, and it trickles foul. By foul. No balls and one strike. Yeah, the Bee Diggers are certainly looking to make this a 5-inning game now. You got this big elite. Brush did score 21 runs last year. They won a 27-6 game a few years ago here in Estes. Short lead at first, and the offering in the dirt. Took something off at 1 ball and 1 strike. That was pitch number 69 for Burke. He's thrown an inning and a third. The only out of the inning was a caught stealing. Although there's been a drop fly ball. Swung on line towards left center field. That one is going to roll for a while. Matos Garcia around second. He races for third. He's rounding third. He will score. Zane Fow is headed for third. The throw is not going to be made. It's an RBI triple. The Bee Diggers have plated 8 runs in the second inning. Brush 13. Estes Park nothing. And here's Alec Peterson. He's singled a couple of times. Alec will step in, as this is the 11th hitter of the inning. And the pitch is inside. Took something off at 1 ball and no strikes. To Petey. Burke out of the windup now. And the pitch. Tailing fastball, and the count is level. It got the corner at 1-1. The Bee Diggers in the game have 9 hits, but Estes Park has committed 4 errors. And the offering. That's a strike. Man, a lot of movement. If Peterson can perfect that movement, he'd be a heck of a pitcher. Just got to work on it. Limited experience for the right-hander. Wind and pitch. And the breaking ball is going to skip towards the screen. No advance there. At third by Fow. Didn't spot it immediately. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Peterson. Fow's at third after his run-scoring triple. Burke gets the sign. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss, and Peterson strikes out.
All right, then.
And for Ben Burke, that's his 3rd strikeout. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock, who's reached on an error twice, and both by the second baseman, Perney. Miscue on a grounder, and then he dropped a fly ball. Wind and offering. Swung on, laced, and off the third baseman's glove, and picked up by Tully. Long throw will be late. It'll be a base hit for Kyle Rosenbrock. And scoring on the play is Fow, and the Bee Diggers now lead 14-0. On a ball that was scorched. Mikey Gutierrez struck out, then delivered an RBI single. And he will now hit the stretch. And the pitch is off the glove, and advancing to second is Rosenbrock. That'll be a passed ball on Calden. On a pitch that was away, but certainly very catchable. So 1 ball and no strikes. Bee Diggers up 14-0. And the offering. And the breaking ball is a beauty on the outer edge. And the count is leveled at 1-1 to Mikey Gutierrez. Ben Burke gets the sign from Calden. The stretch. And calling time. There was Gutierrez at the very last second. It was granted time. Just to reset himself in the box. Now Burke stretches. The offering. Breaking ball is laced foul off to the right. And the count is at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, a man at second, and 9 across for the Bead Diggers here in the top half of inning number 2. Burke stretches, and the pitch, and the breaking ball is upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock with a 4-step lead. Gutierrez awaits, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. The off-speed pitch, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Ben Burke. But the Bead Diggers scored 9 runs on 8 hits. There were 3 errors and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning in Estes Park. It's Brush 14, Estes Park nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bead Diggers lead in Estes 14-0 in what should be a 5-inning game. Even if Estes comes back, the Bead Diggers have so much offensively, and it's going to be tough to hold them down. 5 runs in the first, 9 in the second. And Zane Fowl, the right-hander, will be working to the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Hunter Tasker, Alec Perney, and Marshall Dean. Many of the Bead Diggers have already batted 3 times. Estes Park still on their first go-around. And again, this is typical of the games in Estes Park, those high-scoring games. Righty against righty. Foul ready. Wind and pitch. That fastball's a beauty. On the outer half thigh high, it's 0-1. Now, Fowl walked the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the first, but then was throwing virtually nothing but strikes. Gets a sign from Petey, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball tailing in. No balls and 2 strikes. To Hunter Tasker. Peterson setting up high, wants him to throw a waste pitch. Swing and a miss! And that was on the inner half. And on 3 pitches, Tasker strikes out on the tailing fastball. Thrown by Zane Fowl. Outstanding pitch. There's 1 down. Here's the second baseman, Alec Perney. And if Fowl can do that, we can move this game along. That was beautiful. Here's the wind and offering. Swung on and popped up into right field. A routine play for Brandon Walter to his left. Makes the 2-handed grab. And there's 2 down. And Fowl has thrown just 4 pitches to record 2 outs. And that'll bring up Marshall Dean, another right-handed hitter for Estes Park. So Dean digs in. Wind and pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the screen. Foul with 2 strikeouts. No balls and 1 strike. And he's thrown 5 pitches all in the strike zone in this frame. And the offering. Swung on and lifted to center field. Going back is Nico Guzman, but he ranges under it, makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zane Fowl as we head to the 3rd in Estes. Brush 14, Estes Park nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The new pitcher's Adam Goodman is the starter. Ben Burke now goes to 3rd base. And Alec Perney is now in left. That means we got a new second baseman as well. A number of changes made for Estes Park in the top of the 3rd inning, with the Bead Diggers in the lead by a score of 14-0. Caleb Carnell is now at 2nd. And that completes the changes for Estes Park, as Brush will send up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. And I assume this could be the last inning the Bead Diggers have many of their starters in the lineup. Coach Fergus, I think, will probably clear the bench a little bit, give some younger players an opportunity to hit in this game. Unless Estes generates a rally, a significant rally, that is, in the bottom half of the frame. But as for now, Brush is in the lead by 14. And Nico Guzman has walked twice. And one of those drove in a run. The right-hander Goodman delivers. Swung on grounded foul up the third base side. Towards the Estes Park dugout, it's 0-1. Your one-stop center for home improvement projects is Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. For flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more, Ackley Building Center. And Stubbs Gas and Oil. Make that your next stop heading out of town. You can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, hunting and fishing licenses. Find everything you need at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. As the breaking ball's in the dirt, the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike to Nico Guzman here in the top of the third inning from Estes. And the offering. Swung on and driven down the left field line. It's drifting foul, and it is. Got out in front of that pitch. 1-2. Sent it towards the 341 foot mark. As Goodman hung that one over the inner edge. Guzman back in. 1-2. Laying down the sign is Calden. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball away. And that is 5 strikeouts generated by Estes Park pitchers, and there's 1 down. Yeah, that's the only negative for the Beat Diggers in this game is that when they've generated outs, they have not forced Estes Park to make plays defensively. Been a lot of strikeouts. Here's Brandon Walter. Delivered a 2-run single, then singled again. 2 for 2. The pitch. Swung on. That's a base hit to right center field. Walter now at 3 for 3. And the ball skips by. And that one's headed all the way to the fence. Walter around second. He's headed for third. And Walter's going to be in there. Misplayed out there by Tasker. And that is error number 5 by Estes Park. That'll bring up B.J. Hirschfeld, a sac fly and a walk, officially 0 for 0. Yeah, there's no bad hop out there, just a misplay. Out of the windup is Goodman with 1 down in the third. And the offering. Tails inside on the off-speed pitch. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Rush had 5 runs in the opening frame and 9 in the second. Beat-Diggers have stranded 3. Estes Park stranded 2 in the first inning. The pitch. And that changeup is low. 2 balls and no strikes. With Grayson Simmons on deck, who's been tearing up the baseball in 2+ games. Pitch to Hirschfeld. Swung on and lifted into shallow left field. That will drop for a base hit. Scoring is Brandon Walter. And B.J. Hirschfeld has his second RBI of the game, and Brush now leads 15-0 here in the third inning. And Simmons, with a walk and a single, will step in for the Beat Diggers. And you got to think, again, they're going to be clearing the bench here sometime soon. Stretch and pitch, and that's on the inside corner. Nice soft speed pitch, and it's 0-1 to the G-Man. Simmons with a nice compact swing. Awaits the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. In the dirt. Skips away all the way towards the screen. And Hirschfeld is second on the wild pitch. So Simmons now with a chance to drive in a run for Brush. And the Beat Diggers should get up there aggressively now and not take too many pitches, only because of the lead in this game. They have already worked pitchers enough. The offering outside with that off-speed pitch. It's 2-1. Yeah, there's a fine line. You don't want to establish bad habits either and just swing at anything. I've seen that happen before, and then all of a sudden teams go into offensive slumps. 2-1. The offering. Swung on, driven down the right field line, and that is fair. All the way towards the corner. Simmons might get a triple out of this. Rounding third is Hirschfeld. He's going to score. And Grayson Simmons with a run-scoring triple has the Beat Diggers now in the lead at 16-0 in the third inning. On a hanger thrown there by Goodman. Here's Arnoldo Matos Garcia. 1 for 2 with an RBI single. He will now bat against Goodman. Wind and pitch. Tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Gets the sign. And the offering. Down and away. Count is at 2-0 to Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Awaiting the 2-0 pitch. Let's see if he's swinging. And he'll take it high with the off-speed pitch. Lots of change-ups there. Thrown by the right-hander Adam Goodman. 3-0 to Matos Garcia. Wouldn't be surprised if he's actually swinging on the 3-0. But he takes it for a strike. Tails on the inside corner. 3-1 to Matos Garcia. Wind and offering. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing away. 3-2. With Grayson Simmons on third. 1 down. B-Diggers have plated 3 here in the third after 9 in the first and 5 in the first, 9 in the second. The offering. Swung on foul back. Again, just going with a lot of off speed is Goodman. 3-2. B&J Plumbing can handle all your plumbing needs from clogged drains to a major construction project. They're at 522-3828. B&J Plumbing. And that is a little bit low. Boy, that barely missed. Matos Garcia walks. That'll bring up foul. He's walked, he's singled, and he's tripled in the game. 2 for 2. Is Zane foul. With runners at the corners. Goodman at the belt and the pitch. Swung on and popped up on the right side in foul territory. Dean, the first baseman, makes the catch. And there's 2 down. And again, if he can locate, he's got a lot of good off-speed stuff, does Goodman. Alec Peterson is 2 for 2. 2 for 3. Did strike out at his most recent at-bat. Drove in a run to give the B-Diggers the early lead. And now it's a late early lead at 17-0. No, 16-0, excuse me. The pitch. Swung on and fouled. Yeah, the B-Diggers have 2 across, not, I've got that 2 across in the inning. 16-0 with Simmons at third and Matos Garcia at first. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. That tails inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seems we've been out here for a while, but the game is only 1 hour old. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 in, 2 out. The pitch. Low. Throw back to first and back in standing is Matos Garcia. Ball 2, strike 1. Rosenbrock is on deck. Goodman comes home. That's a strike, a beauty on the off-speed pitch in the inside corner. Moves the count to 2-2. The B-Diggers in their last 3 games have now scored 48 runs. It's been an offensive onslaught for Brush. The offering, and that's outside. 3-2. Well, Matos Garcia could be going with the pitch if he elects to with a 3-2, 2-out situation, but with a 16-run lead, doesn't really have to sprint over too much. That offering is way outside. And it's a walk, and Kyle Rosenbrock will step to the plate. Rosenbrock's been on base 3 times, reached twice on an error, and then delivered an RBI single. Goodman ready, and the offering. Upstairs with a fastball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Simmons. Matos Garcia at second. Alec Peterson at first. Wind and pitch. Tails inside. 2-0. And no doubt that if this pitch is over the plate, Rosenbrock, I would think he's going to swing at this one. We'll see what happens. 2-0. And he swings and drills it deep into left field. That one is way back towards the fence, and it takes one hop, and it's off the middle of the fence. One run is in. Maltos Garcia will score. Around third is Peterson. 2-3 is Rosenbrock, and it's a bases-clearing triple. And the Bee Diggers now lead 19-0 in the third inning. And Rosenbrock just sat back and demolished that baseball. There's Mikey Gutierrez. Gutierrez at 1 for 3. Driven in a run, but he's actually struck out a couple of times as well. And Goodman out of the windup. And the pitch. Tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. To Mikey G. Wind and offering. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. Way out in front was Gutierrez. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers have plated 5 runs in the inning. That's what they did in the first inning. And the offering. And that's a beauty on the inside corner. It floats in for strike 2. Gutierrez is the 9th hitter of the inning for Brush. There's the wind and pitch. And he check swing. I think he went. And they throw to first. Yeah, that's going to be a strikeout. And Gutierrez is out. And that will end. That should end the inning, yeah. Yeah, players are not off the field, but that should definitely end the inning as the play was made over at first base as Calden threw to Dean. The Bee Diggers, though, score 5 runs, and they do it on 4 hits, 1 error, and a man left. 2.5 complete. It's Brush 19, Estes Park nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush 19, Estes Park nothing as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters, Isaac Calden, Caleb Carnell, and Zach Lauk against right-hander Zane Fowles, throwing just 24 pitches in the game. And extremely effective for Brush. Threw just 7 pitches in the second inning. And now we'll look to get the Bee Diggers back in the dugout here coming up in the 4th. So Calden will step in momentarily. And deliver the opening pitch at the bottom of the third inning from Zane Fowl. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, there to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Morgan Community College. And the opening pitch from Zane Fowl was swung on and fouled off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. There's been an average of 27 runs scored in the last 3 meetings between these teams. Bee Diggers have 19 so far in the game. They've only got, they still got to get 9 outs here if we make it a 5-inning game. And Fowles all over the strike zone at this point. Wind and pitch. There's right there on the outer half at the knees with a fastball. It's 0-2. The official line, 19 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Bee Diggers. 1 run, or check it, no runs, 1 hit, 5 errors for Estes Park. Wind in the 0-2. Swung on and grounded to second. Maltos Garcia to his left. 3 hops, throws to first. There's 1 down. And Fowl is now retired. 6 in a row. And here's Caleb Carnell. He began the game with a walk. And since then, Fowl has been throwing nothing but strikes with very, very few exceptions. Petey looks over at the dugout for the sign. Wind and pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. No balls and one strike. Yeah, Adam Tully laced a double, and since then, Fowl has given up nothing. Wind and offering. Swung on and grounded a short. Rosenbrock to his left, and a big hop. Ranges, throws, 2 down. That'll send up the number 2 hitter, Zach Lauk. 0 for 1, reached in a fielder's choice. As Lauk will step in. Setting up on the inside is Peterson, the offering. Swag and a miss through the fastball right by the right-handed hitter. It's 0-1. Man, this is fun to watch when Fowl's pitching, when anybody's pitching this way. Just challenge the hitters. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Breaking ball is lined into right field for a base hit. And the stretch of 7 in a row retired by Zane Fowl comes to an end. On the line drive from Lauk, and that'll allow Adam Tully, who drilled a double down the left field line of the opening frame, to hit. And Tully he's the bat here for Estes Park. He can swing it. He showed that in Brush 11 days ago. The stretch and the offering, and the breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes, with 2 down in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Foul with a pause. The pitch. Over but low. 2-0. Pitching very carefully to Adam Tully. And the 2-0. Upstairs and inside. It'll be 3-0 with Ben Burke waiting to hit next. Foul walked the first hitter of the bottom of the 1st. And 1 pitch away from issuing a second walk. But sometimes you got to pitch around guys this good. Although you've got a big lead, so it won't hurt you if you give in a little bit. 3-0. Down and away. Walks him on 4 pitches. And here's Burke, who popped to the pitcher in the opening frame. As Burke will now bat for Estes Park with 1st and 2nd and 2 down. And a runner now in scoring position in Lauk. Petey lays down the sign. And the pitch. Down and away with a fastball. That's 5 consecutive out of the zone for Zane Fowl. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and popped foul. Now to play off to the right.
Good cut, Ben.
Levels the count at 1-1. The Bobcats have base hits in the 1st and now here in the 3rd inning. But they're down to their final 7 outs unless they generate a massive rally. You lead by 10 runs or more after 5 innings and you're the visiting team, then the game is over. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 down. And the pitch. Swung on and popped foul. Now to play behind the screen on the fastball up in the zone. That is, it's 1-2.
Don't give in, Ben.
Now foul in a pitcher's count, so to speak. With 1-2 on Ben Burke. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fisted towards second. Matos Garcia's got it on 1 hop. Sidearms to first. And that will end the inning as he retires Ben Burke. Estes Park is held scoreless in the 3rd on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. 3 complete. It's Brush 19, Estes Park nothing. You're listening to Brush P. Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Brush 19, Estes Park nothing, and this is probably the time of the game the Bee Diggers will be clearing the bench. Nico Guzman slated to hit first. Let's see what the lineup looks like for Brush, because they brought a few extra players today knowing they weren't going to play for 10 days. Next game on 10-10 will be March 31st against Strasburg. So we expect to see several coming off the bench, and that's what we're going to have here. Yeah, Aaron Williams has picked up a bat. Yep, so we're going to... It'll be Matt Coe stepping in for the Bee Diggers. Coe, the freshman, will bat to begin the fourth inning. Hitting from the left side is Coe. Wind and pitch. And he swings and drills it towards right center field. Coming in and making the catch is Zach Lauk. And there's one down. That ball was hit extremely well, but Lauk made a nice play for Estes Park. Now, Brandon Walter slated to hit, but I know we'll have a change here. And who is going to hit? That's taking some time here. Jaron Peterson will now step in and bat for Brush. Laying down the sign is called an Adam Goodman, beginning another inning of work. And the changeup is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Goodman came into the game 1 inning ago. Wind and pitch. Tails inside. Count to Peterson is 2-0. The question is now for the Bee Diggers, I don't know if Zane Fowl will take the mound in the fourth inning. That's inside as well. 3 balls and no strikes. Besides the errors, another issue for Estes Park has been issuing obviously too many bases on balls that they wanted to stay away from. 3-0 pitch. Swung on grounded foul up the third base side. 3-1. Estes Park pitchers have struck out 6 but have issued 8 walks. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Swung on and tapped down the third base line. It's going to be a tough play over there for Burke. Long throw, and that's in time. Excellent play by Burke on the slow roller. And retired is Peterson. There's 2 down. And here comes Aaron Williams. Williams getting his first at bat for the Bee Diggers. Wind and pitch from Goodman. Swing and a miss way out in front of that one. Yeah, Goodman, he pulls the string on most pitches, and that's why I got to sit back. Here's the wind and the 0-1 delivery. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. And now Williams in an 0-2 hole. We're in the top of the fourth. Brush 19, Estes Park nothing. The Bee Diggers scored 5 in the first, 9 in the second, 5 more in the third. Williams steps out as the ball's being chased down in foul territory. No balls and 2 strikes to the junior, Williams. Wind and pitch in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2. And Bee Diggers have another bench player on deck. Ryan Fergus will hit next in the dirt again. 2-2. Yeah, good change of pace pitcher. When you have a fastball pitcher and then you throw in Goodman, it's a very good change of pace. That's what he's establishing here. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, drilled foul down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. Brenda Robinette is your farmer's insurance agent. She'll work to provide unique, customized coverage at an affordable price. And you have the option of selling your beans on the spot at Trinidad Benham or storing products in their facilities for future transactions. 970-522-3595, Trinidad Benham. And the pitch. Took it for a ball, down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Fergus certainly wants to hit in this inning. And the offering. Swung on, grounded, foul again. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Goodman to Aaron Williams. Calden lays down the sign, but it's more or less that same off-speed pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts by Estes Park pitchers. Bee-Diggers are down in order in the 4th. We head to the bottom half. Estes Park and Brush in Estes with the Bee-Diggers leading 19-0 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Jose Rodriguez is the new pitcher for Brush. Baby Matos Garcia now behind the plate. There's a number of changes the Bee-Diggers have made. We'll try to keep up with all of them here in the bottom of the 4th inning with the Bee-Diggers leading Estes Park 19-0. Now let's see, Aaron Williams now at first. Let's see who's at second over there for Brush, man. It's like Riggs Tan. Rene Cardenas at third. Yeah, we got changes across the board. I know Rosenbrock's I think the entire defense has changed for the Bee-Diggers. Matos Garcia again staying in the game. Let's see if I can at least get who's at short. I'm sure that Ryan Fergus is in the outfield. Yeah, the shortstop is Trent Mount. All right, so we've taken care of the infield. Jaron Peterson in right. I believe that's Fergus in left, or he's either in left or center. We know that. Yep, in center is Matt Coe. These guys do a nice job of turning around. And that should be Ryan Fergus in left field. So that completes the changes for the Bee-Diggers. Heading into the bottom of the 4th inning, 19-0. It'll be Adam Goodman against Jose Rodriguez, the right-hander, who pitched very well against Woodland Park. 2 scoreless innings on this Saturday, but then really struggled against Valley in that 21-10 loss. I don't believe he recorded an out in that one, in that particular game. Wide and pitch, and that fastball's a strike on the outer half belt high. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Goodman struck out swinging. Will close the line here on foul. He's going to pick up the victory today. Matos Garcia lays down the sign. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. It is 0-2 to Goodman. That's a nice pitch unleashed by the senior, Jose Rodriguez. No balls and 2 strikes. And stepping out is Goodman. Foul in 3 innings through just 39 pitches. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, allowed just 2 hits. Very efficient. And the offering. Swung on and grounded right side. That's a base hit on an 0-2 pitch by Adam Goodman. Yeah, that's what Rodriguez didn't want. You got to watch out when you throw those 0-2 pitches down the middle of the plate. Hunter Tasker struck out swinging in his first at bat. Stretched by Rodriguez. And the offering. Swung on and popped into right field. Ranging back as Peterson still going back. And he made the catch. Boy, let me tell you, misplayed that completely. And he was lucky to snag that. As that should have been a routine fly ball, but Peterson did haul it in. There's one down. Here's Alec Purdy. He popped out in his first at bat. With one down and one on, and Goodman at first. Brush 19. Estes Park nothing. The stretch, Rodriguez looks in. And the offering. Swing and a miss out in front of that all-speed pitch. It's 0-1. $19 runs on 14 hits for the Bee Diggers. No runs on 3 hits for Estes Park. The Bee Diggers have played flawless baseball defensively. No errors. Estes has 5. And the 0-1 in the dirt. And it gets away from Matos Garcia towards the Estes Park dugout. And on the wild pitch, Goodman into second. So Goodman with a shot to score. And Purney with a shot to get Estes Park on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Rodriguez looks back, and the pitch. Fastball is up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Novus Auto Glass Repair and Replacement. Novus gets you back on the road. And when it comes to livestock feed, you can rely on Colorado Soy to help deal with the nutritional needs of your livestock. ColoradoSoy.com, all those nutritional needs. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, tapped foul. Check swing behind the plate. Count is at 2-2, and the ball tailing into the right-hander, Purney. Goodman at second. Bobcats looking for their first run of the game here in the 4th. Matos Garcia lays down the sign. And the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Baby. Count moves to 3-2 on the breaking ball. Now this is the number 7 hitter in the Bobcat lineup. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on in line into shallow right field. That is going to drop for a base hit. And Peterson will chuck that one back in. Advancing to third is Goodman. Off the end of the bat, and the Bobcats have 2 hits in the inning. First and third. And threatening here for Marshall Dean.
Go Bobcats! Come on, Marshall.
So looking in now is Peterson. Check that is Rodriguez. The stretch. With the runners at the corners and 1 down. And the offering in the dirt, blocked by Matos Garcia on the backhand. Dean popped to center, which would be good enough here for a sac fly if he did the same thing. Did that in his first at bat. 1 ball and no strikes. Step off.
Make sure you're ready to field the ball. Field the ball, get it out. Here we go.
Jose just taking his time here. The stretch. And the 1-0. Swung on and popped foul. Now to play off to the right. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bobcats had 2 hits going into the inning. They've doubled that with the singles by Goodman and Purney. And 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, we've seen a bunch of games this week. Morgan County team scoring in double figures. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul off to the right side. Count is at 1-2. Getting a little bit warmer. Temperature's beautiful here. About 60 degrees here in Estes. Waiting for a baseball here before we resume play. In this game that's lasted about an hour and a half with a 12-minute delay to begin the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on, 19-0 Brush in the bottom of the 4th inning. The stretch by Rodriguez. And the pitch to Dean. In the dirt, swing and a miss. First base is occupied, so he's out. But scoring in the wild pitch is Goodman. And it's now 19-1. And advancing to second was Perney. There's Isaac Calden. He grounded to second in his first at bat. Nice breaking ball there thrown by Jose Rodriguez, but it was almost too good. The stretch. And the offering. Tails inside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. As Goodman has just scored on that wild pitch, but it did result in a strikeout. And the 1-0. Swung on and driven into center field. That one might drop. That one is going to drop for a base hit, but the ball is going to be retrieved very quickly out there by Matt Coe. And advancing to third is Perney. Third hit of the inning for Estes Park. And again, runners at the corners. As the number 9 hitter comes through, here's Caleb Carnell. He's walked and grounded out 0 for 1 in the game. Rodriguez looks in for the sign. The stretch. And Rodriguez delivers runner going. Swung on, and that is grounded on the left side. Over to short. The throw to first is going to be low, and it gets by the first baseman. On the errant throw, a run will score. Bad throw there by, let's see who was at short. I think I might have missed the short down. That was Trent Mount. And he misplayed it. So Perney scores, now second and third. And here's Zach Lauk. The B-Diggers getting sloppy now. But they still have a 19-2 lead. Swung on and fouled off the catcher. No balls and 1 strike.
Good cut, Zach.
To Lauk. Lauk in the game is 1 for 2. Estes Park has their first 2 runs of the game after Zane fouled through 3 scoreless innings. No balls and 1 strike. That run is unearned on Rodriguez's line. Wine of the 0-1. Tails inside. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike to Lauk. The B-Digger defense, unfortunately, has extended the inning. And the offering. Swung on and fouled straight back. Ball 1, strike 2 to Zach Lauk. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rodriguez looks in. 1-2 pitch. In the dirt with a breaking ball. Moves the count to 2-2. And sometimes these last outs, even in a one-sided game, are harder to come by. It'll be a 2-2 pitch to Lauk. And here it is. Swung on and fisted towards first and caught by Williams, the first baseman. And that will end the inning. However, the Bobcats do get on the board as they score twice on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. 4 complete in Estes Park. Brush 19, Estes Park 2. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, let's head to the 5th and final inning, where the B-Diggers lead by a score of 19-2 over Estes Park, and Ryan Fergus will be the first hitter as Coach Kevin Fergus has cleared the bench, allowing everybody into the game. We already had a bevy of bench players now all out on the field, bat in the 4th inning. So nice to send him up here and everybody get playing time, considering the next game is not for a week and a half against Strasburg.
That's right.
So here we go, 19-2, going into the fifth inning. And Ryan Fergus will bat to begin the fifth. His first at bat of the game here against Adam Goodman. Beediggers did not score in that fourth inning. Wind and pitch. Swung on, fouled off the end of the bat. With all the off speed that Goodman's throwing, the Beediggers have got to sit back. He has been pretty effective so far. No balls and one strike. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to short. That's going to be a tough play. Tully comes in, sets, throws, one down. And Estes Park pitchers have now retired 5 in a row, and that being Adam Goodman himself. One down for Arnoldo Matos Garcia, the only starter to stay in the game for the Beediggers since they've cleared the bench. Wind and pitch, swung on and popped into center, ranging back, settling under it, and making the two-handed grab is Zach Lauk, and there's 2 down.
Way to go, Bobcat!
That's 6 in a row. And here comes Jose Rodriguez. Beediggers got all the runs they needed in the first inning with 5. And they really stretched it out with a 9-run second. That's not even their biggest inning of the week. They had 12 runs against Valley in the second inning and a 22-10 win on Thursday. Swung on. That's a base hit up the middle for Jose Rodriguez on a hanger. And for Brush, that's now their 15th hit of the game, and that will allow Noah Reed to step in. So Noah Reed with his first at bat of the game. With 2 down, the pitch. Reed swings and misses at a pitch down and away. No balls and 1 strike. Beediggers did add 5 more in the third after those 14 runs of the first 2 innings. And the offering, tails inside. Levels the count at 1-1. The stretch, short lead at first, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Noah Reed. Adam Goodman in his third inning of work. Stretches and the offering, and that is up and in. Levels the count at 2-2. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't just settle for any old frozen water. Get AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. The pitch is in the dirt. Ball 3, strike 2 to Noah Reed. On deck is Trent Mount. He is not hit in the game and will only hit if Reed can reach. The stretch. 3-2. Swinging a foul off to the left. On the off-speed pitch, tailing in. We'll see another 3-2 pitch coming from Adam Goodman. 2-step lead for Rodriguez. And the offering. Swung on and driven deep into left field. That ball is going to clear the left fielder all the way towards the fence. Still rolling. Rodriguez is going to step on third. He's going to round third and score on a 2-out double by Noah Reed. And Brush now leads Estes Park 20-2. And that ball was tattooed. And here is Trent Mount. So Reed taking advantage of a rare at-bat this season. Delivers for the Beediggers. See if Mount can do the same. The stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of the changeup. Count is sitting at 0-1. Goodman with a stretch in the offering. Ball went behind Mount. That'll level the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bead Diggers need 2 more runs to do what they did on Thursday, but the offering down and in. Two balls and 1 strike on Trent Mount. Stretch by Goodman. And the pitch. And that ball got him in the helmet. Tailed in. And Mount is hit by a pitch. That will allow Rene Cardenas to hit his first plate appearance for the Bead Diggers. So Cardenas at the plate for Brush. And the pitch is taken inside. Lots of movement by Goodman on these pitches. So good that now he's losing the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. He retired the first 2 Bead Diggers without any issue in this inning. The stretch. Pitch to Cardenas. And that is up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Keep in mind the NCAA men's basketball tournament ongoing on the new KRFD 100.1 FM. Check us out there. 2 balls, no strikes. Reed at second, Mount at first. The pitch in the dirt. Blocked by Calden, 3-0. And Matt Coe, who does have an at-bat in this game, is on deck. He lined to center in the 4th inning. The stretch and the offering, and that tails inside, and it's a walk to Rene Cardenas. And that's 5 consecutive Bead Diggers that have reached in the inning. And now Matt Coe, who lined to center, as I mentioned, in his first at-bat. Left-handed hitter for Brush. And the pitch. And he takes it down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Oh, we thought this game would end soon, but now with this Brush rally, it will still end in 5 innings, just a matter of when they get out of this setting, and that is up and in, right underneath the elbow. 2 balls and no strikes, and Goodman all of a sudden has thrown 8 consecutive balls. 2-0, swung on and grounded to second, ranging in as Carnell. He's got it, flips to first, and in time. And that does it for the Bead Diggers in the 5th inning. Brush scores 2 times. Or check that. Yeah. No, I've got 1 up here. I must have missed one. Yeah, they scored once. I'm sorry. There was 1 run. I had them with 2. It is 20-2. 1 run for Brush. Yeah, I should be able to count from 19-20. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a bases left loaded. Bottom of the 5th we go. It is Brush 20, Estes Park 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, to the bottom of the 5th we go. And the Bead Diggers are leading Estes Park 20-2. And for the Bobcats in the inning, they will start off with the shortstop, Adam Tully. Tully's got a double in this game. He's also walked with an open stance. Jose Rodriguez now steps off as awaiting the sign from the dugout as Maltos Garcia. And he's got it. Here's the wind in the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning. In the dirt, off the glove. One ball and no strikes. Let the State Farm Insurance Office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life, home, auto, life, and health. State Farm agent Greg Mullen at 842-4555. And the 1-0 offering. Fastball is down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. For this game to go to a 6th inning, Estes would have to score 9 runs. Rodriguez with the 2-0. That's a strike. Took something off that fastball on the outer edge. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brush this week has averaged an incredible 17 runs a game over 3 games. And the 2-1 offering. Swung on, pop foul, off to the right and out of play.
Good cut, kid.
Count moves to 2-2. Matos Garcia puts down the side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez with a very methodical windup. Kicks and fires. Down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bobcats had 3 of their 5 hits 1 inning ago. And it's a payoff pitch coming to Adam Tully. Here it is. Outside, and he walks for the second time in the game. And that'll bring up Ben Burke, who's 0 for 2. He popped out and grounded out. Both on the right side. Well, the Bobcats got none to lose here. They're going to go up there ready to swing. But they'll be smart about it as well, as Tully was there. Stretched by Rodriguez. Tully goes. Swung on and missed. The throw to second is going to be late. Easy stolen base. Berg down in the count at 0-1. Rodriguez settling back in. Tully with about a 4 to 5 step lead at second base. The stretch. And Rodriguez comes home. Breaking ball bounces away towards the screen. On the wild pitch, Tully advances to third. And it's 1-1 to Ben Burke. Yeah, that was virtually impossible to block there. That thing took a wild, vicious hop. All right, so the count is sitting at 1 ball and 1 strike with a man at third. Nobody out, bottom of the 5th inning. Brush leads Estes Park 20-2. Wind by Rodriguez, and the pitch swung on and fouled off Matos Garcia.
Good cut, Ben.
1 ball and 2 strikes. A picturesque afternoon here in Estes. Let's see, Rodriguez can generate the out. 1-2 pitch, and in the dirt. Nice block there on the breaking ball by Matos Garcia. Count moves to 2-2. On the right-handed hitter for Estes Park. Jose Rodriguez ready. And the 2-2 pitch. Down and in.
Good eye, Ben.
He's already walked Tully in this inning on a 3-2. We got another 3-2 here to Ben Burke. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Denver. I'm John Beltran, live from Estes Park with the Bee Diggers lead by 18 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swung on and fouled back with a fastball tailing in. And it remains at 3-2 to Ben Burke. Off of third is Tully. Rodriguez out of the windup with a man at third. Rodriguez taking a long time. Whew. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and hit in the air towards the pitcher, Rodriguez. He makes the catch. It was a flare only about 10 feet high, and Rodriguez just took a few steps and made the catch. And there's 1 down. Nice tailing fastball. That was worth the wait. And Adam Goodman Well, let's see. Is he going to hit? No, it looks like we got somebody else hitting up there. Let's see that. We'll get the hitter here in a second. Wind and pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Caden Brown. Now the hitter. For Estes. No balls and one strike. With Tully at third. Here's the wind and the offering in the dirt, blocked by Matos Garcia. Levels the count at 1-1. To the hitter Brown. Wind beginning to blow here in Estes.
Bring him in.
Not been a factor so far. And the 1-1 offering. Down and in on the off-speed pitch. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and one. Rodriguez kicks and fires outside with a fastball. Oh, I think it was called a strike, a delayed strike. 2-2. Rodriguez looking for the out here to keep Tully at third. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. And Rodriguez picks up the strikeout. And there's 2 down. And here's Hunter Tasker, who's 0 for 2. He struck out and popped out. Tasker is the last chance here for Estes Park. Wind and pitch. Fastball down the middle for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Bee Diggers will pick up their 4th victory of the year, their 3rd in the Patriot League. In convincing fashion. Matos Garcia lays down the sign. Wind in the 0-1. Swung on and grounded to third. Nice stab over there by Cardenas. Throw to first, and the game is over. Cardenas makes the play. And the Bee Diggers in 5 innings defeat Estes Park by a score of 20-2. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left at third. We'll wrap it up in 1 minute. The Bee Diggers win 20-2 over Estes Park on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bee Diggers get the job done here in Estes Park, winning the game over the Bobcats by a score of 20-2 in 5 innings. And for the Bee Diggers in the game today from Estes, they pick up those 20 runs on 16 hits. There was 1 error, 7 left on base, 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 errors, 7 left on base for the Bobcats. The winning pitcher was Zane Fowl, 3 scoreless innings, and Ben Burke took the loss. Time of the game, 1 hour and 54 minutes. The Bee Diggers wasted no time, scoring 5 runs in the opening inning. Nico Guzman had an RBI walk, which was preceded by Alec Peterson's RBI single. Brandon Walters' 2-run single made it 4-0. Then B.J. Hirschfeld's sac fly made it a 5-0 game. In the second inning, Zane Fowl would cross home plate on an error. Mikey Gutierrez with a run-scoring single. B.J. Hirschfeld with a bases-loaded walk. Grayson Simmons with a 2-run single now leads the team with 12 RBIs. That made it 11-0. Matos Garcia with a run-scoring single. Fowl with an RBI triple. Rosenbrock with an RBI single. And then Grayson Simmons, by the way, with an RBI triple in the third inning. So he had 3 RBIs in the game. So he now leads the team with 13, not 12, as the Bee Diggers with the victory, 20-2 over Estes Park, improved to 3-1 in Patriot League play. 4-1 overall. Estes Park drops to 0-4 in league play and 1-5 on the season. Brandon Walter was the only Bee Digger that had 3 hits in the game, and there were 4 others with 2 hits, including Fowl, Peterson, Rosenbrock, and Grayson Simmons. Bee Diggers are back in action coming up A week from Tuesday, they'll be home to the Strasburg Indians beginning at 4 o'clock on 1010 and KSIR.com. Remind you, always follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports or at 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page, or you can always follow the games pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. Sound engineer and producer of this broadcast this afternoon has been Rose Condas. I'm John Beltran with a final score from Estes. The Brush Bee Diggers in 5 innings defeat Estes Park 20-2 right here on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com.